Right, hello again. It's Greg back with episode 2 of our Soul Level 1 playthrough. I was going to wait until the first video got a few more views and I got some comments because obviously I wanted some criticism, some places where I could improve. And to be honest, I did watch the first episode back, and some of the areas that needed improvement were quite obvious. So the first thing I'm going to try and do is speak a little more clearly, try and let a bit more of my personality come through. I was kind of nervous during the first episode of sounding like an idiot, so it made me slur some words. I was kind of thinking too much about what I was going to say rather than just getting on and saying it. This should be a bit more of a light-hearted episode. Like I said, I'm not that great at this game, and in this video, that will become very evident to anyone who watches it. Right now, I figure I should go and get the red Tearstone ring. I was talking to my friend actually, who's actually doing a Soul Level 1 playthrough of this game, and I was actually thinking about skipping red Tearstone. I thought maybe if I just upgrade my equipment enough, get good enough gear, I should be able to handle, the later bosses just fine. But he did recommend to me that I get red Tearstone for later bosses. Apparently I would be struggling. So I thought, alright, well, I know where the red Tearstone is. I just got to go through Valley of Drakes. So I'm going to attempt to get through all the drakes and get up the ladder to red Tearstone. So I managed to dodge the first drake. I'm feeling kind of apprehensive at this point. I'm like, oh god, I'm not sure if I'm going to get through here. I've seen other Let's Players sort of do this run to red Tearstone, and of course I've seen the speed run, and I thought, that looks easy enough. You just kind of like run past them all, don't you? So it's going well at this point. I thought, great, almost missed the ladder. That could have probably killed me. Then of course they don't exactly lose aggro on you in this area. So the only problem is how I get down. I thought to myself, oh, I'll just homeward bone back to Firelink. So check the inventory. We don't have any homeward bones. Oh dear. Now I know that you're supposed to leap off the edge and then roll. So I don't know why I didn't do that. So obviously that was quite bad. So now I've lost over 2,000 souls, and they're going to be right in the middle of a pile of angry blue drake bastards. I thought, no biggie. Ran through there like a boss last time. All I got to do is run through again and then turn around and run back out without getting killed. Simples. Doopy-doo. Run back down at the elevator after running into a pot. Called the elevator up because I forgot to send it back up the first time. Wait patiently. Step on the magic button. I got the jump at least. That made me feel a bit better about myself. Now, usually I wouldn't care about losing 2,000 souls. I'm kind of used to running around late game and New Game Plus like I am with my other character, and 2,000 souls is so trivial it's almost not worth it. And then I remembered that this is Soul Level 1. So I want to try and make every soul count. So, run past the undead dragon. Don't think it's really worth picking up any of the stuff he's got at the moment. I did talk to my friend who is doing a Soul Level 1 playthrough, and he has recommended a weapon to me. So we will be using that. I'm going to try and upgrade it to all down the different elemental paths, which I've never done before, actually. Oh, that didn't go as well as it did last time, did it? Nope. So they're gone forever now. Good start. Good start to the playthrough. I'm feeling good about this. This is going to go well. So, like I was saying, I've never actually used elemental weapons. I've always gone for the straight up plus 15, you know, normal ascension path. I've never even visited the blacksmith in the catacombs. I don't even know how to get there. I believe you can get there if you take the big leaping shortcut. I always expected to just kind of run into him, sort of on the way down the catacombs, but it never actually happened. So God knows where he is. I'll have to look for him. It's not going to matter yet anyway. I don't think we can really bother with it too much until we get to Blighttown and start getting our hands on some green titanite. I believe that's what we use to upgrade elemental weapons. Again, I could be wrong because I've never actually had to think about how to upgrade elemental weapons because I've never bothered using them. Oh God. No humanity from the rat. Always disappointing. I'm hoping that our run through the Burg will go better than the Drake's. I'm also not quite sure why I'm speaking in the future tense, as I've already recorded this and I know exactly how the run through the Burg goes. And luckily it does look a bit more impressive on camera than the run down Drake Valley, which was catastrophically awful. Hope I don't get hit in the face with a firebomb. Stab him in the pelvis. One thing I will say about New Game Plus, not New Game Plus, sorry, Soul Level 1, that every enemy sort of feels threatening again. It's felt a little while since I actually ran through the Burg and actually felt like I might die. So it's definitely an interesting way of playing the game. Tried to walk forward dramatically for when the dragon came down and just ended up looking like a complete ponce, which is probably going to be a recurring theme for most of this playthrough. I kind of watch all the other, I've watched a few other Dark Souls playthroughs, not necessarily Soul Level 1, but I've watched people like Epic Name Bro, which I think everyone's watched if you're watching this, and Vegeta 311, and they all make it look so easy, and it's like, oh, that'll be fine, I can do that. Although it's probably not going to go quite as well as that. Right, now usually these spear guys aren't a problem, and they're not too much of a problem here either, but I used to hate them when I first came through this game. They'd never hit me, and when they did hit me, they'd stab me right in the face. Luckily, I actually managed to get the parries. I find these guys, I think, the easiest enemy to parry that I've tried to parry so far. I don't usually bother with it. I've usually got, at the moment, I'm playing with a great shield, so I can't actually parry anyway. I think the only time I really relied on parries was the fight against Gwyn on my first playthrough. So we're going to talk to our merchant, and we're going to buy some weapons and a new shield. And the shield, I think it's the shield that we get first. No, we're going to use the reinforced club for this playthrough, and we're going to buy 3 of them. I want to upgrade one normally to plus 15, using large titanite shards, titanite chunks. I also want to upgrade one to fire, and I want to upgrade one to lightning. And the shield we are going to use, which I haven't bought yet because I can't afford it, is the heater shield. But to do that first, we've got to use some consumable souls so we can afford it. Still not enough. I didn't really work this out very well because I've actually got more souls than I need, and doing Soul Level 1, I do not like the idea of walking around with more souls than I need because I don't want to lose them all. And knowing me, probably will lose them all at some point. Probably several times over, actually. Yeah, he's going to tell me to jump off a cliff. I just spent, what, 2,000 souls on his wares? And we are not going to be fat rolling through here. There we go. Decided to go for the cool, hardcore low level shirtless build with the hood. And I'm using a very skinny body size, so the hood probably looks too big for my head, and indeed for my entire body. I think that hood's actually half the size of my torso, but I think it looks good, and I think the pale skin kind of works as well. I don't like the way when you sort of run through an area hollow and your skin is kind of bright orange. You look a bit like an Oompa Loompa on steroids. I always rest a bit longer at a bonfire just in case I want to edit bits of video together. I think a bonfire rest is a good place to sort of end one roll of film, as it were, and start a new one. But we're pretty much just gonna run through this, and I'm just gonna talk over it. I'm not really gonna sort of edit around too much. I don't have to worry about cutscenes really or dialogue, so it makes it quite light work on the whole editing front. Now, usually you should probably pull these guys along the bridge, but if you can get the backstabs off, fine. Then it doesn't really matter because you're invincible during the animation. The other thing I don't like about using a club is that, unlike a sword, it doesn't really have a combo. As in, if you slash a sword and then you press R1 again, he'll sort of slash it the other way, and the animation kind of links together and forms like a combo of hits. With a club, it doesn't really do that. You just kind of repeat the initial attack over and over again. So it'll be swing back, rather than sort of a fluid sort of combination of attacks. So that does take a bit of getting used to. I have used clubs before. The character that I've got in New Game Plus at the moment actually started out as a sorcerer, well, sorceress. It's a female character. So, and I knew that I wanted to do a strength build. I had some playthroughs that I didn't really get very far with, and I was trying to go for more sort of dex builds. I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. So for that playthrough, I thought, oh, it's going to get a lot easier if I just go balls to the wall strength. Use a massive sword and just smash enemies into the ground, basically. So the first weapon that I started using was just a regular club, because it had a good strength scaling, and it was cheap and light, so it was quite easy to use when my sorceress was at low levels. They don't exactly start out with a good amount of strength, but I did want some intelligence. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. Over there is the door to Havel, but we're not going to go fight Havel yet. I almost thought to myself when walking through there, oh, I'm too low level to fight Havel, and then it kind of dawned on me that I'm always going to be the same low level, and I'm still going to have to fight Havel, and I'm going to have to fight lots of other nasty bosses as well, and other nasty enemies at that. So we're going to fight Taurus Demon in just a sec, but first we're going to try and take care of these guys up here and almost get killed, because that's how we roll. Ugh. It kind of adds more pressure when you know that you're going to record your gameplay and put it on the internet. You kind of go through the game thinking, oh god, what are people going to say when they see that? Gonna apply our gold pine resin. Makes this boss fight so much easier. And then run! Up the ladder. Now, there are a couple of ways you can fight this boss. I'm going to do the most cowardly way possible. Well, not the most cowardly, because I could always just go back up the ladder and try and plunge him again, but there is a way of simply wait for him to do that swing, fight him sort of far away, and then wait for him to swing, hit the ground, and go back in. Whereas we're just going to sort of hover around his legs and club him in the dick. And that was Taurus Demon. So now we have a homeward bone now that would have been useful for back then in valued drakes. Would have been 2,000 souls better off probably. I wanted to kind of do a slow walk to sort of show off the nice view, but then my frame rate decided to die in the kind of sport at the moment, I think.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow.
I don't know why, but Fraps always seems to have a total BF whenever I talk to any NPC so far. It happened with, is it Oswald? The guy in the Undead Parish, not the Undead Parish, in the Undead Asylum. And now it's doing the same thing when we talk to Solar. I'm hoping that this item will be useful to us later on in this playthrough. People always say the PC version doesn't have as many people to summon. That worries me slightly because I'm probably going to need summons. I was also really worried that this dragon was going to kill me. But luckily, it did not. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just kick down the ladder so we have a shortcut. And then that probably will do it for the end of this episode. So next episode we are going to go to the parish and fight gargoyles. We're not going to go through the lower parish. We're going to take the shortcut with the master key, go through dark routes, maybe pick up the grass crest shield. We'll see how it goes. I haven't recorded the footage yet, but hopefully it will be entertaining, and I do hope that this episode was an improvement. See you next time.